About 20 months ago, I've created this topic on Reddit. I started cycling in August and I'm going to climb to A. In that topic, I introduced myself to the community and announced the mission that gave birth to this channel. That I was a terrible cyclist with a big motivation to improve, and that I am embarking on a mission to get to the A category. And not only that, I also said that as an accountability tool, I am launching a YouTube channel called RoadtoA, on which I am going to share my journey and my progress. By the time I had 2 videos and 4 subscribers on my channel, I have been recently promoted to low C category, was very overweight and had an FTP of 235 watts or 2.9 watts per kilo. And you are all probably wondering, why the hell is he telling us that? Well, to tell you that, I need to fast forward back to the present. I have just finished a race and that race was very special for me and my mission. What's funny is that race shouldn't have even happened. It took place on Friday, August 22nd, 2025, and that was also the day Sisu Vuelta Tour was supposed to start. Unfortunately, due to the illness of one of the organizers, it was cancelled, and so me and Steven looked for a race that we could do instead. And naturally, we selected the biggest and baddest nonsense we could have found on the menu. A 30-kilometer mass start race with an insane amount of climbing. And to be honest, I was looking forward to this one. I have lost a ton of weight in the last months, which means that in theory, my climbing should be now way better than it used to be. What's more, this was the first day in months where it was pretty cool outside, so I had my hopes up. I went into it with a clear strategy, to stay with the front group for as long as possible. The problem was I didn't know it was a mass start race, and that meant that to keep this strategy going was equal to playing with fire. My goal here was to test myself on the climb and compete with other B category riders. But when you are in the race, you don't really know who is in which category and on which spot you are in your own. So I simply followed the crowd. There were 2 rounds of climbing in this race. The first one was the stretch of Mayan KOM, Itza KOM and the upper portion of the grade. The second one was the lower half of the Epic KOM forward. Plenty of opportunities to test myself, and let's speak honestly, plenty of opportunities to get dropped too. And as you would expect, already on the first climb it got super spicy, but I was very comfortable on the bike this day. It hurt, but it was controlled and not overwhelming, and I was actually able to keep up the pace until like 600 meters to go before the top of Itza KOM. That was where the best riders actually started splitting from the group. It wasn't that I was flat out dropped, but the pace at the front was simply too much. I finished the Itza climb a little behind the group, but I was able to get back to it really quickly to start the final portion of the climb, the grade. Here, until the speed got below draftable level, which is about 14 km per hour, I tried to stay with the group, but after that I went on my own and tried to maintain over 300 watts. And that actually worked, but then I realized we are not going down the Epic KOM as I thought, but to the other side where the top of the climb is, and only after that there would be descent and recovery. And that caught me by surprise, but eventually I concluded the climb, still among some other riders, and it was time for a recovery on the descent. On the climb, I set my new 20-minute personal best, 315 watts. I've never done that before, but then again, it is true it has been ages since I've done sustained hard effort with little power variation like this. Fast forward to the start of the Epic KOM forward. At this point I was riding side by side with another B rider from South Africa, and we were currently battling for the 3rd place. But there was another B guy about 7 seconds in front of us, and I had an information from the stream chat that that guy was having a crisis. And that turned out to be true. We caught up to him fairly quickly, and that meant that unless I bonked, I would have guaranteed podium in B category. And we basically went side by side with the South African guy until the tunnel. The first B rider was long gone, and it was clear the 2nd and 3rd place would be decided between the 2 of us. Before we reached the tunnel, I decided to test this guy. I searched and watched if he gives up. If that happened, I would continue hammering it until the grade. If he reacted, I wouldn't waste energy for no reason. And he reacted without any problem actually. So I slowed down, went into his draft and accepted that it would be a sprint showdown between the two of us. But I didn't realize one thing. The finish wasn't in the ruins below the grade where the route officially ends. It was artificially set at about 20 meters behind the top grade banner, and I didn't know that. I wanted to get into the position for a super attack on the grade, so before we reached the banner, I actually put another search. And then all of a sudden there was the finishing screen. Thankfully it looks like basically everyone was surprised by this, and it was a good thing because I wouldn't have been ready for it. Thanks to a lucky accident, I finished second in the B category and put a performance that I think I can be really proud of. But the biggest surprise was still yet to come. I went for a cooldown and chatted with the guys on the stream when Darren told me to check my in-game profile. So I did, and there it was. Surprise! 20 months after I embarked on this mission, it is now complete. I am now officially an A category rider. But that doesn't mean the road is over. There is still plenty of fish to catch. My next goal is to reach racing score of 690 to be considered an advanced rider. That's it for today. Hope you liked the journey with me so far. Hope you will stay for the upcoming one. And if you'd like to see how this breakthrough race went in detail, you can watch it right here.